Hey, shalom, sis. Hey, shalom, young man. How y'all doing? Yeah? All right. Give me John, hold on, give me 1 Peter 4:11. This is what we're about, sis. Read that.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, and verse 11.
Yeah.
If any man speak,
If any man come and speak to you concerning God, Jesus, right? Your nationality, anything like that,
let him speak as the oracles of God.
That's
the
right.
Bible is the oracles of God. These are God's words.
Right.
So if any man gonna talk to you about Jesus, God, he need to be telling you what he used to be using God's words to explain to you, right? Give me John 7:38.
Bring it out.
This is the book of John, chapter 7, and verse 38.
Bring it out.
He that believeth on me, as the scriptures had said,
He that believe on Christ, as the scriptures have said, because the scriptures is a record of God's people, Christ, the Most High, what he requires of his chosen people.
Right.
Do you know God got chosen people? Who are his chosen people? Give me Jeremiah 14:2. Huh?
I think the people that believe on him is called the chosen people.
Give me Isaiah 44:1. Hold it.
Bring it out.
When God told us, when he gave us the Bible, he gave us a way to read it.
Right.
He said we need to read precept on precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
Right.
Because it's a puzzle that you have to piece together. You have to know the precepts. So when we say chosen people, we got to get the precept to see who God chosen is.
Bring it out.
Read.
this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 44, and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel,
Who?
and Israel, whom I have chosen.
So God chose Israel.
That's
The
right.
Israelites. They are his chosen people out of all the nations on the earth that he created.
Right.
So now, when we read the Bible and we want to relate to it, we got to know who we are.
Right. Right.
You understand? Because if I don't know, if I'm calling myself an African American, I don't know what this means. Because African American is not in the Bible.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? So now I got to know who I am.
Bring it out.
Right? Give me Jeremiah 14:2.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, and verse 2.
Bring it out.
Judah mourneth.
Who?
Judah mourneth.
Judah. That's where the word Jew comes from.
Right.
Judah is in mourning. Why is God saying Judah is in mourning? Why is God saying Judah is in mourning? Look at that list of names right there. All you young men, look at that. Who is Judah? The American blacks. That's why would we be in mourning?
Bring it out.
Do we have a place that we can say I'm going back to my homeland?
No, a lot of people say it's Africa, but
We say it's Africa, but what part of Africa? You know what I'm saying? Where are we from? We just say Africa. But where are we from Africa? We don't have our own.
I don't identify with Africa, so I'm just saying in
We
general.
don't either,
Yeah.
because we're not Africans.
Yeah.
That's right.
We know we come from the continent of Africa, but we're going to read where we come from in Africa. Watch this.
The book of Galatians, chapter 4, and verse 26.
Bring it out.
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
So Jerusalem is our homeland.
Right.
That's where we came from. In 70 AD, when the Romans came to war against us, Titus and Vespasian,
Bring it out.
they came and conquered us in Jerusalem. We fled into Africa. We started dwelling amongst the African nations.
Right.
The Africans knew that we were not Africans when we were there.
Right.
So they rounded us up and sold us to the white man.
Right.
That's right. You are not an African. You are an Israelite.
That's right.
You understand? Because these are prophecies that God said will happen to his children.
Right.
I'm going to show you. Go to Deuteronomy 28. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass,
Uh-huh.
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Hearken. Our people were not familiar with English. Hearken means hear. The root word of it is hear. So if you don't hear, that means comprehend. Read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
There's 600 commandments in the Bible. 613. God said you have to do all of them. You understand? Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
These what?
these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So God, this is Moses talking to the children of Israel in the wilderness. He said, if you don't do what God tell you to do, curses are going to happen to you.
Right.
All right? Give me verse 68. We're going to get straight to the point to let you know that you're an Israelite. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Read.
Get out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
He said, God said, I'm going to take you Israelites into Egypt. You know Bible history a little bit? What were the Israelites doing in Egypt?
What were they doing?
Before God sent Moses to tell Pharaoh to let my people go, what was their condition? They were captive. They were in slavery. The Israelites was in slavery in Egypt. Egypt is a Greek word, come from the word gypsos. It means bondage or slavery. What? Read that again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Into slavery again. How?
With ships.
How did we come to this side of the world?
How did we get here?
Yes.
We're down here by boat, I guess.
What kind of boat? We were brought here by slave ships.
That's right.
God said, you Israelites, if y'all don't keep my commandments, all 613 of them, y'all gonna go into slavery on slave ships.
Right.
Didn't that happen to us? Right? No other nation of people can say that they went into slavery on slave ships.
Bring it out.
No other people can say that. You know what I'm saying? Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Where we from? We just read it. Where we from? Israel. What specifically what the Bible say? What's the month? Jerusalem.
That's right.
So God said you ain't gonna never see Jerusalem again. Your heritage, nothing about it. Because now we adopt BET as a heritage.
Right.
Come on, please. BET is our heritage, the greatest people on the earth.
Bring it out.
Nope.
And all we got is hip hop and Greek stomping around the yard. Are you serious? You see what I'm saying? Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Read.
And there,
when you get off them ships, there in that place,
ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
God said you were going to be what?
Sold unto your enemies.
Was not the black man sold on cargo slave auction blocks?
Bring it
Cargo
out.
auction blocks? Were we not being sold? Do you know that history of your forefathers being sold on slave blocks? See this picture right here? You see that? Hey, young men, do y'all see these?
Yes, sir.
Do y'all recognize that history? Did not happen to your forefathers being sold on slave blocks?
Yes, sir.
That happened, right? That means you're not an African American.
Right.
You ain't no color black.
Right.
You ain't none of that. You God chosen people. You are Israelites.
That's right.
You understand? You the greatest thing walking on this earth.
Right.
I don't see myself as color. I just see myself as
You are Israelite. That's
Right.
that's more than being human.
Right.
You are God. That's right. You understand? You are God on this earth. But because we don't want to do it, we don't want to have our spiritual connection with God and do the commandments, he took our power away from us. Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen
Bondmen
And
is
bond-
slave men
and bondwomen.
and slave women. Because it wasn't just the men who went into this condition. Our women came over here too. Y'all were getting thrown off the side of the boat too. Y'all were getting fed to alligators too.
Right.
Y'all was getting y'all insides cut open with the baby falling out on the ground. Y'all was getting towed up just like we was. When they tied us to them horses and they tarred and feathered us and put us on fire and tore us apart, they tore up your family too. They didn't just destroy the black man, they destroyed us in front of our women. Now our women look at us as inferior psychologically.
Right.
other nations outside of Israel. Give me Psalms 83. They all played a part in us going into slavery. We were sold to all nations on the earth.
That's right.
Our people are scattered into every land on the face of this earth, in the bottom of society.
Right.
We were the slaves who built up this world.
Right. Right.
Psalms chapter 83, verse 4.
Start at verse 1.
Verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo,
Listen, it says, he said, look, God, what?
thine enemies.
God, your enemies. God has enemies.
That's right.
God, your enemies, what?
Make a tumult.
A tumult is an angry gathering. You understand? Today you would call it the UN. They make an angry gathering against who?
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
The people that hate God, when they say they lifted up the head, that means they are the ones in rulership. They lifted up the head. Read.
They had taken crafty counsel.
Crafty counsel, trickery, deception against
Thy people.
Against your people, God.
Right.
Read.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And he said they consulted against the hidden ones. Because when we come out here and tell these blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans that they're the Israelites, it seems strange to them because they never was taught who they were. They never was taught their nationality. It's been hidden from them. So we are a hidden people on the earth.
Right.
Everybody look at us like we niggas.
Right.
Like we ain't no good for nothing.
Right.
But we are the prophets and the servants of God.
That's right.
The way we live supposed to be an example to all other nations on the earth how to live.
Right.
But they destroyed that. Now they run the world. Now you can be a homosexual. You can do anything you want to do, and it's all right with white Jesus.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? When you read in the Bible, God saying, you can't supposed to be laying with them. A man ain't supposed to be laying with another man.
Right.
But they disregard that, right?
Yep.
They make laws, they pass laws and say, you can do that. And if you speak against it, you'll hate. But God speak against it.
Right.
Let's read on.
They have said, come and let us cut them off.
They have said, all these nations have said, come and let us cut them off, the Israelites off,
From being a nation.
from being a nation. We don't know our nationality. You understand? They cut us off, sis. And how did they cut us off? They cut us off through slaughter, robbery, rape.
Right.
They violently took our culture from us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now we have been driven to a point to where we're so afraid to speak on these things. You understand? Because it's a fearful thing to talk about what this Bible really says, because you'll be ostracized.
Right.
People will look at you, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is so hateful about us telling the blacks and Hispanics they're the greatest people on the earth?
Right.
Why is that hate speech? You see what I'm saying? All right, let's get verse 32.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32.
Bring it out.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Your sons and your daughters are going to be given to another people. Did that happen to us? When? During slavery.
That's right.
They put us on them oxen slave blocks. Even then, when you did go with a master and you start living and having children, he would take your child and sell it off to another plantation.
That's right.
And watch this, read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
And your eyes shall look and fail. That means you're going to cry all day long for your children that were being sold off to these other plantations, because you weren't going to see them again. Read.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
And we didn't have no type of might, no military might, economic might to fight for our children, to send an army after our children. You know, we don't have that. Still to this day. We marching for equal rights. But if we had somebody to stand up for us, you know, a whole military, people wouldn't just, I'm gonna tell you, if we had protectors, if we had saviors around here, when our sisters go into these nail salons, the Chinaman wouldn't feel comfortable hitting you upside the head with a broomstick.
Right. That's right.
If they knew that we wasn't destroyed as a people and that our brothers would stand up for our sisters, they wouldn't, you can go on a nail stand and they will honor you as a princess.
Right.
Yeah, I've always felt like the black men don't go hard for the woman like they do for the men. So I've always felt like that. Like the black men, they honor the black woman. So why should any other race honor the black man if not?
We fell from our greatness. We fell from who we were, and it was done through rape and robbery. Have you ever heard of Willie Lynch? When Willie Lynch came over here and pushed that how to control your slaves, he reversed nature. He reversed the roles of the men and the women. So now, naturally, women raise the men to be inferior to them, to be scared of stepping out and being bold, being a man. So we have a lot of effeminate men. Effeminate, they big, they muscular, they playing NFL, but they scared to stand for something. They scared to take a knee when they see injustice happening because the white man take all their money from them. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have much time. I appreciate your
So
time.
do you know your nationality?
I know, well, I think I'm an Israelite. I'm
From
like,
what tribe?
Where do I begin? Like, where
Give me
do I
Jeremiah
begin
14 and 2.
study with you all?
Oh, look on the back of that flyer.
So it's all on
See
here?
at the bottom in that black,
Yeah.
it's a website there,
Okay.
and you have the school address.
Okay.
All right, watch this, listen to this.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2.
Read.
Judah mourneth,
Uh-huh.
and the gates thereof languish.
Judah's in mourning, and we don't have any leaders. Read.
They are black.
What?
They are black
The tribe of Judah, God said they black like what?
unto the ground.
Just like the dust on the ground that he created Adam from. You know what I'm saying? We different shades of brown. From very light brown to very dark chocolate. You understand? So when somebody asks you, sis, what's your nationality, what you gonna tell them?
That's right.
From what tribe?
I don't know.
Do you know what Jesus looked like?
Bring
Can
it out.
we show you that?
Nobody knows what he looks like.
You sure? All right, give me that in 1 Corinthians 15.
They gave us a description in the Bible.
Let's see. You say don't nobody know what he look like. We're going to read several occasions because how can you not know what Jesus looked like?
I feel like he's of a brown descent. I feel like he's Hebrew or, you know.
How can you not know what he looked like if they hung him on a cross?
Bring it out.
Somebody had to see him. They talk about it all day long. People in here saw him.
Right.
Watch this. Read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 4. And that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day, according to the scriptures.
Who is this talking about? Jesus. Read.
And that he was seen.
He was what?
Seen of Cephas.
Cephas saw him.
Then of the 12.
The 12 disciples that followed, they saw him. Read.
After that, he was seen of above 500 brethren at once,
500 people seen him at one time. Read on.
of whom the greater part remain unto this present.
Read.
But some are fallen asleep.
Read on.
After that,
read.
he was seen of James,
James seen him.
then of all the apostles.
All the apostles seen him.
Bring it out. Hey.
So what they talking about, nobody ain't never seen him. Give me Revelation.
We don't know what he looks like. We don't know.
Because if all these people seen him, somebody had to bear record.
What
We finna read it.
Bring it out.
Read on.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1.
Bring it out.
The revelation of Jesus Christ.
This is the revealing of Jesus, right? It would have to be revealed because something would go wrong. Let's find out what. Read.
Which God gave unto him to show.
To do what?
To show unto his servant.
Because you a servant. We supposed to be out here showing you what the revelation, the revealing of Christ. Read.
Things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
Now this is John the Revelator, right? Read on.
Who bear record
John bear record. He wrote it down. Read.
of the word of God
Of Jesus. Go ahead.
and of the testimony of Jesus Christ.
Read verse 10.
Verse 10. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day and heard behind me a great voice.
John the Revelator say, I'm in the spirit. I heard behind me a loud voice. Read.
As of a trumpet, saying, I am Alpha and Omega,
I'm the Alpha and Omega,
the first and the last.
the first and last.
And what thou seest,
What you what, John?
what thou seest,
John, whatever you what?
what thou seest, write in a book.
So John, when you see me, write it in a book.
Bring it out.
Read verse 11.
And send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia.
Verse 14.
Verse 14.
This is what John wrote.
His head
His head
and his hair.
and his hair, the top of his head and his hair on his face. So now John seeing somebody? He's seeing somebody. He said, this is the first and the last, which is Christ. He said his hair on his head and the hair on his face
were white like wool.
It was the color white, and it was woolly in texture. Wool is a texture.
That's right.
Let people have woolly hair. We do.
Bring it out.
Read.
As white as snow.
It was whiter than snow. That means he was fully gray.
Right.
Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Because Christ drank wine. When you drink wine, your eyes be red as fire. His first miracle was he turned water into wine at a wedding feast. He partook in it. Christ drank wine for the belly pains and stuff like that. He wasn't a drunkard. Read.
And his feet.
His feet. Now we getting to it. So if you took your shoes off, and I'm looking at the top of your feet, because Christ had on sandals. So if I'm looking at the top of your feet, would it reflect the rest of your body? It would, right? Because you ain't gonna have purple feet, right? In a brown face, are you? So his feet what?
And his feet like unto fine.
Like unto. That means it was in the resemblance of what?
Fine brass.
What color is brass? Brown.
That's
So if my feet are brown, what color is my body? Watch this.
As if
Just like.
they burned in a furnace.
Now, if I burn that brass, what color would it be? There you go. That's right. So do Jesus look like this? Hold on. Hold on.
I mean, you done told
So
me enough.
do
I'm
Jesus
ready
look
to
like
sit
this?
down.
Is this Jesus?
No, that's not him.
Give me Matthew 24:4.
Bring it out.
Exactly, sister. That's why God got to send the prophets back out here to teach his people.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? That's what you bear record to right now.
Right.
We have been brainwashed
right.
with Christianity, and every time you go to church, they put you right back to sleep.
That's right.
Every time. Watch this, sis.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that
Take heed, sis. That what?
that no man deceive you.
That no man deceive you.
For,
We
ma-
have been deceived. What?
for many shall come in my name.
Many gonna come in my name. Those Catholics, those so-called Christians, those Seventh-day Adventists,
Right.
those Baptists.
Right.
All them people came in Christ's name saying what?
Saying, I am Christ.
They say I'm Christ, I'm a Christian, I'm a Jew. You see? They say I'm Israeli. They come in his name, but they not the true thing.
That's right.
You are.
That's right.
All praises to the Most High. So you got, sis, you got to get more.
I will.
All praises to the Most High.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone, 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.